I'm at the East Chickenbone junction. It quit raining, so I took off the bush hat and I'm going to put on the GoPro. There's a huge switchback coming up to get onto the Greenstone, so I'm going to try to film that. I came from West Chicken. As you can see, it's pretty wet, pretty nasty. So far I've come 1.8 miles, it says, from the campground. I was in site 6. When it's raining, I can't video. I'm a bush hat wearing guy when it's raining. Let's see what this actually says. Can't see without my glasses. 1.9 miles, it says. We're going that way. Okay, shortly after going across that giant boardwalk down there, the battery decided to die. So now, here I am again, new battery, and we got a switchback coming up. So, this is actually very indicative of the Greenstone. It's one of the reasons some refer to it as the Green Tunnel. Yesterday it rained all day. It was a very miserable hike from Hatchet Lake to West Chicken. So I got no footage at all of yesterday. I did take some pictures along the way. I keep my camera, a small point and shoot, in a plastic bag in my pocket. But I was soaked to the bone. Quit raining this morning about 5. So bless the trail crew and their boardwalks. This particular part of the Greenstone is from the west or the East Chickenbone junction towards like Daisy Farm, 3 Mile, Rock Harbor. So this is officially the Greenstone. One note, special note, in all the years I've been coming here, I never saw the river that runs between Livermore and Chickenbone completely dry. This year, dry. So I gotta quit telling people that it's a good water source. And here's our switchback. We gotta go way up there to get back on top of the ridge. As far as the section between Hatchet and West Chicken, it is pretty much a green tunnel. So you'd have seen a whole lot of footage of nothing but Bug Haven. Don't mind the huffing and puffing. Ain't bad for an old man. Yesterday was very slick in the rain. Very slick. trail crew in their handiwork. I don't know if GoPro, oh wow, look at that. That's a fresh bull moose scrape there. Looks like he was working on the tree behind it a little bit too. That means there's bull moose here. There's an older one, probably from last season over there. You can tell the new ones, how blonde colored the trees are. I don't know if the GoPro's picking up how far up I am, but you can see the heavy fog. It's basically rained. I got some footage in Hatchet of it raining. Rained last night and thunderstormed again, so I'm packing a wet tent. I have to be on the boat Thursday. Today's Wednesday, so my plan is Daisy Farm, hopefully for an empty shelter. If there is no empty shelter and I have to put the tent up wet, then I'm going to push on to 3 Mile, which makes my hike tomorrow shorter. But if there's an empty shelter, I've been sleeping in the rain in a wet tent for 2 nights now. So it is what it is. This, I'm going to step back for a minute. This is why we talk about this trails are full of rocks and roots. Pretty much everywhere on this island, you got rocks and roots. Quite the spectacular rock formations. We're going up there. This is another part of the switchback. We're going up on top of them big rocks right there. Everything's really slippery from all the rain. Last time I'm aware of heavy rain and thunder was at around 3:30 in the morning. It was raining this morning, but not real hard. More of what I'd call a sprinkle. But last night, the thunderstorm that went through, and I was in West Chicken, and it was flash, light up the whole world, and then instant boom. So wherever the lightning was, it was very close to West Chicken, almost to the top. Once I get on top, I won't go down really again until the Daisy Farm Trail. Very wet, very slippery. I can see the top. Almost back on top of the Greenstone. All right, I'm back on top the Greenstone Ridge. With the heavy fog, we're not gonna get much views today. You can see why people refer to the Greenstone Trail as the Green Tunnel. If it wouldn't have been raining and I took footage between Hatchet Lake and West Chicken, this is pretty much all you would have seen. Walking in a green tunnel. The real views are far and few between till about the Ojibwa Tower. Then you get really nice views. But I thought I'd give you a little taste of why they call it Greenstone, the Green Tunnel. We're gonna open up onto I don't know if you call it a vista, but with the heavy fog, I don't expect to see much. To the left of me, you can see how far down it goes, but it's so foggy you can't see anything. On the hike yesterday, I did pull out the camera and take some pictures from the vista. But you can't really see anything today. So I'm not gonna waste GoPro battery. Well, the fog lifted a little bit. You can see how far up on the ridge we are. I took a little break and put on some more bug dope. Bugs are vicious. And if I put the bush hat on and the bug net on, then I cannot have the GoPro on my head, which is where I have it. So that gives you a look at whatever I can see. But the fog lifted in that little bit of time. You can actually see down there now. I'm way up. More green tunnel, but here's another moose scrape right next to the trail. This one again is pretty fresh because it's still blonde. So there's a big bull around here somewhere. I don't know how big, but definitely making use of the scraping trees. But it is what it is. We got a vista coming up right here. So I'm gonna just leave the camera on. Again, it's so daggum foggy that you can't really see anything. I guess we're not gonna go out there. Maybe up here. But this is the Greenstone. This particular section is between East Chickenbone Junction and the Daisy Farm Junction. Daisy Farm Trail Junction. I'm not gonna waste my time going to the tower. Won't be able to see anything anyway, unless miraculously this fog disappears in the next 3 miles, because that's about what I have. Right around 3 miles. These rock outcroppings, they're all over the island. Greenstone, Malong. That's why some people call this place the Rock. Yesterday, these were the things that were slippery. Beth and I sometimes We refer to these as the whalebacks because it kind of looked like a whale's back. Ain't much to see. This is the kind of trail that I can make up time on. I mean, when you're dealing with slippery rock faces, especially in the rain like yesterday, you got to really take your time. I didn't do very good yesterday. I did about a little better than a mile an hour. But even though it rained, even this morning it was raining, this trail's pretty good. You get on these dirt trenches, kind of flat for a while. I can make up time. After 2 nights sleeping in a tent through thunderstorms, I'm really hoping for a shelter in Daisy. I just heard the ranger leave. Could hear it blowing its foghorn out of the channel. Right now at this period of time, right now between when the ranger just left and the queen comes in at 11:30, there'll be shelters to be had in Rock Harbor. Still pretty foggy. But I gotta find one of these rocks, drop my pack, and empty the crap out of my boots. I think I got some pine needles or something poking me in the ankle. And this one right here looks to be beautiful. That's one thing about this place, especially when it's raining for 2-3 days. The underbrush is so wet. I haven't had dry boots since Sunday. In this trip, I actually cut down. I used to always take 5 pairs of socks. This time I only took 3. I haven't had a dry pair of socks in 3 days either. And there's the culprit. Pine needle stuck in the webbing in the side of my boot. More greenstone. I'm about a mile from the marker. Sun came out, as you can see. With all the rain we had for 2 days, all it did was make everything really muggy. As you can see, the sun came out. I'm still walking in the green tunnel. I'm past the 5-mile mark. Garmin says I still have 1.4 miles to the marker. But we'll see. More green tunnel. Sun came out, so some of these rocks are drying up. the one so-called spectacular view so far, it was all fog. We saw that way back at the beginning. Okay, like I said, we came out onto a ridge. Battery died. I have one more battery left after this one. So, it is what it is. Nowhere near the spectacular views as you see on the ridges in the Manong. The sun did come out. It's warmed up. It's probably about 75 on this ridge right now, which is a far cry from the 50-something of yesterday. But because I only have one more battery, this is, I'm gonna really try to conserve this one to get me into Daisy Farm. So I'm gonna video mainly what I think's kind of impressive. And these these ridges are not what I consider impressive. This one's slightly more impressive. Okay, I'm at the Greenstone Daisy Farm Junction. This way, Daisy Farm. This way, Mount Ojibwe Tower. According to these marker posts, it was supposed to be 5.6 miles from the West Chickenbone Junction to this junction. According to the Garmin, it's 7 miles. So, anyway, I'm here. 2 miles. This post says 1.9. My Garmin says it's 2.2 miles to Daisy. So, here we go. And here we are. Off down to Daisy Farm. There ain't a whole lot spectacular on this trail either, but I wanted to hit the high points, the junctions. I still want to conserve batteries. I've went through 4 batteries up till now. I have the one in the camera, which I've been using today, and one more full one. And I do want to get some Rock Harbor Trail, so I'm going to shut her down. Here's an interesting coming up around the bend. Another example of why they call beavers meadow makers. Once the beaver pond or the beaver moves on or gets eaten by a wolf or whatever, grass grows. That used to be a big beaver pond years ago. And this pile of planking, Beth and I were here in 2016, I believe it was airlifted. They airlifted piles of boards all over the strategic places on the island. But you can see there's still water in part of it. Grass growing in the rest. Crazy thing. Here's another interesting part. Climbing down off the Greenstone, I went on 2 really long boardwalks, and then I get to this. I'm hoping that this, I can't really remember, but I'm hoping that this is the one that's the last one. This freaking switchback after 8.5 miles. My body's saying, dude, you've seen every part of this island. What do you keep coming back for? And my brain keeps saying, oh, because I love it. Not true. I do not love this. But based on the trees, this is the last hump I gotta go over. because I believe everything goes down from here to the Lake Superior shoreline where Daisy Farm is. Can't see Lake Superior. More climbing. Should be coming to the Muskie Basin Trail junction here pretty soon. It's up on rocks like this. I might be here. Nope, doesn't look that way. So that means I need to climb another one. Because the Muskie Basin trail markers on a piece of rock like this. Well, there's evidence that there is moose around Daisy Farm. That's a big rub. And I'm probably less than a half a mile out of the campground. That there is a big rub. So something with some antlers around here is hanging out. There's some more rubs. So not only is there a moose that hangs out not too far away from Daisy Farm, but he likes this trail. And these are fresh ones. You can tell by the color of the tree. Here's the Muskie Basin trail marker. It says Daisy Farm Point 2. It's pouring rain, so it's time to get the GoPro off. Well, I made it to shelter 6. Found it empty. I haven't had dry boots since Sunday. Pouring rain. I mean, it was sunny on the ridge and starts pouring rain a mile out of Daisy Farm. Half a mile maybe. And now it stopped. As you can see, I got my tent and my footprint and rainfly out there trying to dry a little bit. When I packed them up this morning, they were all soaking wet. I keep them in that yellow dry bag over there so that they don't get everything in my pack wet. But right now, I'm just calling it thankful that I got a shelter to hike from here to Rock Harbor tomorrow. To catch a boat at 2:45 is no problem at all. This is us pulling away from Isle Royale. Got a little bit of a rock and roll going on. That's Isle Royale over there. I'm trying to hold the camera where it'll move with the boat. first ride, but she's definitely rock and rolling. This is Thursday, the 21st of July. End of trip 3. Adventure concluded. Other than getting home to Copper Harbor and driving home. So I'll get some footage a little bit later. The boat is rocking and rolling. I got the camera held to a post on the boat. So moving back and forth, that's the whole boat, not just the GoPro. Well, we're getting there. It's been a rocky ride. As you can see, Keweenaw Peninsula is getting bigger. A lot of people have been using Walmart bags, we'll call them, on this trip. Co-captain Jamie's been running his poor butt off handing out Walmart bags. He says it's only 2 footers, but before we got on, Captain Ben said it was calm for 4 to 5 footers, or 4 footers building to 5 foot. Looking back here, every once in a while you can see a wave hit the wake, and it's kind of awesome. There we are rocking. I am actually holding the camera still to the boat, holding it next to this pipe. Isle Royale is barely visible in the distance. I doubt that GoPro's picking it up. But that's Lake Superior. I don't want to pan too far the other way because there's a bunch of people standing out here trying to get fresh air. The waves look like they're coming from the southwest, but I'm not exactly sure the heading this boat's on. It is what it is. Another beautiful ride on the Queen IV. Somehow I don't like the ride home as much as I like the ride there. This was an actual experiment. I tried Malone Bay to Rock Harbor in 6-day, 5-night. Had to walk one day in the ridge, on the ridge in a lightning storm. Was not my favorite thing to do. I have no footage from Hatchet to Chickenbone because of the lightning storm. I was wearing my bush hat instead of the GoPro on the headband. Gotta think long and hard about that, because it's one thing for me to walk up there and get struck by lightning. It'd be a different thing for me to lead clients up there. So every time I go there, I try to learn something, even if I'm by myself.